Hey, what's up, my friend? Chris here from Mixdown Online, and today we're going to look at the TMA-2 Studio Wireless Plus headphones by AIAIAI or AIAIAI. I think it's faster to say AIAIAI, so this is what I'm going to go with. So they sent me a pair and I received them a couple of days ago. I did not have a chance to try them yet. And this is what I'm going to do today. Now, these are a modular headphone system, meaning that they come in different parts and you assemble all the parts together. A bit like, we did as kids, with Legos and stuff. And the cool thing is that some of the parts are interchangeable, okay? Meaning that you can buy like different cushions, for example, and so on. So let's open the box and see what we have here. Okay, so now I have like several little bags here. Let's open this one. Oh, look at this. Okay. Okay, a USB cable. Okay, this is cool. This is part of the headset. Let's continue. Oh, I have the cushions right here, which are over ear. Okay, so this is the ones that they sent me. Be careful with my knife not to go through the material. So there you go. Look at this. All that time, I could have just ripped that apart, and easier than taking the knife. So there's a cable, because you can use them in wireless mode, but also with a cable, which is always a good thing to have. All right, so let's get this one up. This is the transmitter, so I'm going to try this one later on. It's for the wireless signal to go through. Okay, we have the drivers, and we're going to hook everything up all together. And the last little bag here. Oh, cool. We have a little carry-on bag to put the headphones into when we travel. So this is pretty cool. So this is how it looks like right out of the box. So there you go. That was pretty easy to assemble. So these are actually designed for home musicians, music producers. Usually they do a lot of headphones for DJs, but these are actually aimed for music production. So I'm going to take the time to test them out while recording, while producing music, even mixing and mastering, even if I think they are not quite designed for this purpose. From what I know, maybe I'm wrong. So I'll let you know. I'm going to try them out and get back to you in just a few seconds. Okay, now I'm back. It felt maybe like a fraction of a second for you, but for me it was like more than a month before I was able to finish this video. But that gave me the chance to try these headphones a lot. So now I can give you my honest take on them. So the TMA-2 headphones are wireless, and this is basically the main feature out of these headphones. The fact that they are wireless and not only Bluetooth, because they are a Bluetooth 5 headphones, which is cool because you can wear them out anywhere you want on the bus by taking a walk or whatever you do when you use Bluetooth headphones. You can do the same with them, which is very practical. But on top of that, we have this guy right here, which is a transmitter, and that transmitter is actually very cool. So that will make these headphones to connect via Wi-Fi using the transmitter, and it's going to give you a ultra low latency that goes down to 16 milliseconds. With a regular Bluetooth headphone, you'll get latency up to 100 milliseconds and even more, which is unusable for music production. But with the transmitter and with these TMA-2 headphones, you get down to 16 milliseconds when using them wireless, which is awesome. So 16 milliseconds on paper can be noticeable. I'll talk about that later. But for the most part, I was able to work with them, recording bass, recording like keyboards using my controller, which was very, very practical due to the fact that I was, when I'm producing music, I have my CUBASE in front of me. I turn around, my controller is on my left side. Then I have the bass in the back, which is usually stands on my right. And I have all those cables to manage, So my bass jack cable that is connected to the interface, plus, my headphone cable as well. So it's just a mess straight on the floor by moving around with my chair. So it's always something that bugs me a lot. But by using these wireless headphones, I have to say that it helped me a lot. So one less cable to think of when they're recording bass, for example. And apart from that, I'm just free of cable. I can move around in the studio, go get the bass, go on the keyboard, continue doing editing and stuff on the computer, and move around without, having to worry about a cable, so which is pretty cool. Jimmy, the guitar player I work with, used them in 2 of our last recording sessions that we did together, and he was very happy by using them just because of the wireless feature we have. So the headphone cable wasn't lying on him and stuff, so he was free of cable, which was very practical for him when recording guitars. So that is my experience using them, and that is a big plus. So this is the main feature. Now, when we talk about battery life when using the wireless system, when we use the headphones with the transmitter, we're talking about a battery life that goes up to 16 hours of playback, which is quite nice by using the transmitter. By using the Bluetooth, now we're talking about 80 hours of playback time, which is quite nice. They use USB-C for charging, and the cable is included also. And like we saw earlier, we have the extra cable to plug them in. And they are light, comfortable, so this is always a plus. Now, the fact that they are modular headphones makes them pretty cool. You can actually replace parts very easily. So you can just tear them apart in a very fast way, go and buy an extra driver, or replace this one with another model if I want to, or the cushion, like the ear pads. And there you go. I can easily assemble them in a very, very fast way. And there you go. That's it. So this is actually a very cool concept that I like with these headphones. Now, the way you connect them to Bluetooth and the transmitter is also very simple. First of all, on top, we have 3 buttons that are straight on the headphones. So we have the volume up and down, and the center button is the power on button. You keep your finger on for a couple of seconds, and they are going to power up. And then we have... and I'm actually going to film that as a B-roll, I think. But there's a switch right here underneath one of the pads. Let me just bring this out. And we have a switch right here, which is going to turn blue or white. So on the white side, this will connect to the transmitter, and for Bluetooth, it's going to be on the blue side. Very simple to use, and you don't need to to tear them apart to switch, okay? It was only for the video. And on the other side, we have the USB connection to charge them up, and they're gonna charge within 3 hours, for a full charge, which is very cool. Now, you are probably gonna ask me, how do they sound like? Okay, now as far as the sound goes, they sound good. For mixing, I wouldn't mix with these. These will not gonna be my first choice for mixing. For recording, music production tasks, yeah, they're gonna sound good for this purpose. But for mixing, they are not on the flat side of things. To be honest with you, the bass and the low mids are gonna be balanced with each other, but there's a lack in the mids. So for mixing purposes, not the best. As far as I'm concerned, maybe other people will tell you otherwise, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not my first choice for mixing. But again, for music production tasks, recording, producing, they work well, and especially for the wireless feature, it's pretty cool. I kind of like working with them, to be honest. Now, there's a small hiss. That is another con, I would say, when using the transmitter only. When you plug them in or you use Bluetooth, there's no hiss whatsoever. But when you use the transmitter, they will produce a tiny background hiss. But the minute you play music in them, You're not gonna hear the hiss. This is not a deal breaker for me. It's not something that I hear when music is playing, only when there's no music playing. Now I'm gonna hear a bit of that low background hiss, but I just needed to mention it. Now, as far as latency goes, I told you it goes down to 16 milliseconds, which is quite impressive, which works well when recording, guitars, bass, VST instruments, pianos, and stuff like that, for the most recording tasks that we do. Now, when recording vocals, I noticed a bit of that 16 millisecond latency, depending on how loud my vocals were into my monitor mix. So when my vocals are loud enough, I'm not gonna get that tiny chorus effect that I get when my vocal mix is a bit lower into the general headphone mix. This is when I kind of heard a bit of that tiny chorus effect that you get with latency when recording vocals. So this is something that I need to mention. But for most people, this is not going to be a problem. I'm just a bit picky when it comes to monitoring. But for the most part, for all the other tasks, recording bass, guitars, keyboards, pianos, name it, most instruments out there, they work very well. The wireless feature is awesome. So this is my take on the TMA-2 Wireless Plus headphones by AIAIAI, which works great, especially for the wireless feature when producing music and recording. At the time of this video, AIAIAI is the only company that offers this type of headphones. So if you're looking for a good pair of wireless headphones for the studio, you can check them out. I'm going to leave the link down below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to this channel if you're new here or if you're not subscribed yet. And also you can leave your questions and comments down below. Until next time, my friend, take care and see you.